Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
That's headed by Marina! That is 2-1 to Arsenal!
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal! And it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised! Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones!
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you're listening to around the world. Welcome to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of Uruguay versus Spain in Group H. The game is taking place at the Estadio Akron in Mexico, in Zapopan, in the Jalisco. In the state of Jalisco, but in the Guadalajara region. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and over there it is coming up, and over there it is around 8 minutes to 6 o'clock in the evening, and the players and management's making their way out onto the pitch. Uruguay wearing a kind of a darkish blue kit. Spain will be playing all white. So a bit of news. So as Mike Hardeman mentioned yesterday, bit of news regarding England's Reece James, I should say. He has sustained a hamstring injury, so is not likely to play. And also Elliot Anderson is a doubt as well. You may have heard Mike. Alex Peters and Dan Money talk about his supposed move to Manchester City. Back to the here and now, and let's take a look at the team and let's take a look at the lineups for Uruguay and Spain. Starting with Uruguay, managed by Marcelo Bielsa, we have Fernando Muslera in goal. Then the remaining players: Guillermo Varela, Sebastian Caceres, Matias Oliveira, Juan Sanabria, Manuel Ugarte, Agustin Canobio, Rodrigo Bentancur, Federico Valverde, Maxi Arroyo, and Darwin Núñez. For Spain, we have Unai Simon in goal, then Marco Llorente, Pau Cubarsí, Aymeric Laporte, Marc Cucurella, Mikel Merino, Rodri, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Mikel Oyarzabal, and Alex Baena. And our matchup and our referee for this game is Ismail Elfat from the USA, and his assistants also from the USA are Corey Parker and Kyle Atkins. The fourth official is Juan Calderon from Costa Rica, and his assistant also from Costa Rica. The reserve assistant referee is Juan Carlos Mora, also of Costa Rica. On VAR is Tatiana Guzman of Nicaragua, and her assistants are Armando Villarreal of the USA and Khamis Al-Mari from Qatar. So going into this game in Group H, Spain top their group. They drew 2-2 against Cape Verde and thumped Saudi Arabia 4-0. As for Uruguay, they've drawn twice. So they must win if they are to ensure qualification for the round of 32, or at least get a decent result to ensure a runner-up position. We'll have more information on the permutations throughout the game. We'll also be bringing you goal updates from Cape Verde's match against Saudi Arabia, as the small African island are in contention for the round of 32. They're currently in 10th, just below. They're currently in 10th, just below the place for qualifications. But if they win, they will top the round of 32 groups and go from 10th to 1st. Scotland are already eliminated. Their fate was sealed when Senegal beat Iraq 5-0. With just the national anthems, the national anthems have now been concluded, and we can now take a look at some of the they must win to ensure qualification and a successful group exit. And in terms of head-to-head, Spain has an exceptional record against Uruguay. They have met 10 times, and Spain have never lost with 5 wins and 5 draws. And their last competitive meeting was at the FIFA Confederations Cup in 2013. Spain won that match 2-1. Uruguay under pressure, entering this match winless in their last 6 internationals across all competitions. And Spain have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 5 outings. Oyarzabal and Yamal could be the players to look out. Could be the ones to look out for Spain, and Darwin Núñez spearheads the attack, looking to break the clinical Spanish defence. Spain have no fresh injuries, but Pedri is at risk of suspension. He picked up a yellow card in the last match, and just going to have a look for a moment to see if there are any injuries for Uruguay. And their campaign has been heavily disrupted by physical setbacks, and their high training methods has led to internal friction with the squad. Some of the players have voiced concerns over fatigue, and the sheer number of volumes definite absences are Araujo, Georgian de Arrascaeta, Georgian de Arrascaeta. Ronald Araujo starts this game, and there are no other specific names are officially mentioned on medical reports. So now we'll just get ready for the game to. I'll just get ready for the game to start. Lamine Yamal made a big name for himself, of course, in the Euros 2 years ago. Was part of the squad that beat England in the final. And something interesting about Uruguay: none of the squad currently play club football in their home country. So they've got a mix of players. So they've got a mix of players playing for clubs in Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Italy, England, Saudi Arabia, and Greece, and so on and so forth. So the players are now gathering at the centre of the pitch for a short period of silence and remembrance. the period of silence is over. And if anyone knows what the period of silence was all about, then do please let me know in the comments. You can also comment. You can also put forward your comments at any time during the match, but please keep them clean and civil. Yes, we are trying to appeal to everyone, even if it is at this late hour. And it will be Spain to kick us off at the Estadio Guadalajara. But we're underway at last, and this is a crucial game between each of the teams in Group H. So the ball now being cleared away from goal, and that was by Spain's Unai Simon. Early throw in to Uruguay, and the ball now being thrown, but caught by Cucurella of Spain. The ball now being passed, in fact, down the wing to Cucurella. Cucurella tried to pass to Rodri, but was cut out by Uruguay. Now on the ball for Uruguay is Cáceres to Muslera. Now back to Cáceres. Cáceres trying to cross the ball over the line, but it was just about caught by Bentancur. And now Spain looking to press on towards the goal early on, and that was almost an early goal by Mikel Oyarzabal. And as I understand it, the Cape Verde Saudi Arabia match is on the verge of kicking off, or has kicked off. We'll keep you updated. We'll keep you updated on any goal updates as and when they come through. Early corner to Spain, and the corner will be taken by Baena. Alex Baena in towards the goal area, but saved by Muslera. And yes, I have got confirmation that Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia has already kicked off. And now on the ball on the far side for Spain is Rodri. Rodri doing well to hold off Cáceres. He passes the ball over the centre circle, and now on the ball is Aymeric Laporte. Laporte to Cucurella. Cucurella passing up the wing to Kubasi. Kubasi to Laporte. Now it's with Pedri. Back to Laporte. The ball's still on the other side. Spain playing from right to left. Uruguay left to right. And that was almost a giveaway to Uruguay there, but Spain were able to hold on. It's Pedri up the wing to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal, only 18 years old, but he's got plenty of talent. He has to back pass to Marcos Llorente. Llorente to Pedri, but the ball goes over the line, and Spain almost caught Uruguay out early on. Just over 3 minutes have been played. It's still Uruguay 0, Spain 0. Marcelo Bielsa. Listeners who are familiar with the Premier League may know him once as head coach of Leeds United. The ball now cleared over the line by the Uruguay keeper Muslera. Almost taken back to Spain by Oyarzabal. The ball now, bit of head tennis going on, and now on the ball is Varela. Varela passing to Muslera. Muslera clears the ball out of the goal, and an incident has occurred between Rodri and Matias Oliveira. Luis de la Fuente has been Spain's head coach since December 2022. He's also managed Spain's youth teams in the past. So it's fair to say So it's fair to say he knows the Spanish national team structure inside out. Free kick to Uruguay. Passed up the wing by Ugarte. Ugarte to Oliveira. Oliveira back towards Ugarte. And Ugarte trying to cross down, but saved by Unai Simon. Uruguay need a draw. Uruguay need a draw in order to. Remember, Spain need a draw to qualify for the round of 32. On the ball currently for Spain is Pau Cubarsí. Cubarsí gives the ball away though to Cáceres, and Cáceres down. He might have been Cáceres down. Was he fouled by Merino? We'll have another look at it. Yes, it was Merino, but just a clash of knees, nothing too serious. And it's given Uruguay a free kick, and to take the free kick is Maxi Araujo. Maxi Araujo standing over the ball, composes himself, takes a couple of deep breaths, and he fires it into the 18-yard box, but almost headed over by Laporte. Simon fumbles. The goal is left open, but Spain clear it away, and it goes over the line for a Uruguay throw. And Guillermo Varela will be the man to take the throw. A couple of instructions from the fourth official. Headed into the air by Darwin Nunez, but it ended up in the arms of Simon. On the ball now is Cubarsí. Cubarsí, is he going to make a break for it? He passes up the wing. He passes up the wing to Pedri. Now it goes back down towards Aymeric Laporte. Rodri. Now back with Rodri. Rodri down the wing quickly towards Pedri. Pedri, need I remind you, is already on a yellow card. So if he commits a foul in this game, he will be suspended. And so now on the ball is Lamine Yamal, but Yamal was forced away by Juan Sanabria. Good defending by Uruguay, and Spain almost paid dearly for their poor organisation in their goal area. So corner to Spain, and Yamal will be the man to take the corner. Yamal in towards the 18-yard box, but cleared over the line by Uruguay, and this will be another Spain corner. So Yamal to take the court. So Yamal to take the corner once again for La Rioja. No, in fact, it was Baena towards Yamal, but Yamal brought down. The referee says play on. The ball now being passed to Unai Simon in goal. Simon to Rodri. The ball is now being passed back around to Cubarsí. Rodri. In fact, that was actually Laporte. Laporte almost collides with Augustin Canobia. Laporte to Rodri. Back with Laporte. The ball is now over the halfway line. The ball has now been passed back down towards Rodri. Rodri back with Laporte. And Laporte was looking for Baena, but didn't get the target right. In my view, Muslera passes the ball out of goal. It's now with Bentancur. Bentancur does well to pass to Mateus Oliveira. Good defensive work, but not for long though, as Aymeric Laporte has snatched the ball for Spain. Now on the ball is Pedri. So Pedri passing to Llorente. It's Marcos Llorente for Spain. Down into the centre circle where it's at the feet of Laporte. Laporte to Rodri. Now back with Kubasi. But Spain have had to defend by passing to Unai Simon. 10 minutes in, it's still Uruguay 0, Spain 0. And so back on the ball for Spain though is Baena. Baena crossing up the wing towards Lamine Yamal. Yamal on the far side, but intercepted by Varela, I think that was. Yes, I should have to say it was Varela, but a very good cross up towards Yamal. Would Yamal have been offside? He may well have been. Just waiting for. Yes, like I say, we will be bringing you goal updates between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. So everything in Group H is still all to play for. Now on the ball for Uruguay briefly. What briefly was Canobio. Canobio to Araujo, but the offside flag has gone up against Uruguay, and so their attempt at goal wouldn't have counted. That was just a bit tight in my view. Well, back with Spain and Llorente. Llorente down the wing to Laporte. Laporte on the ball for Spain, trying to thread his way through the defence. It's with and after 11 minutes, I'm hearing it's Cape Verde 0, Saudi Arabia 0. As a Uruguay player has gone down. That was Agustin Canobio. So free kick swiftly taken by Uruguay. The ball now being passed by Cáceres to Muslera. Muslera, that was briefly with Darwin Núñez. It's Núñez to Araujo. Araujo trying to close in on the goal area, but Uruguay almost had a chance to take the lead with Valverde. But once again, Spain were quick to the rescue. And this could well have cost them because Pedri is down on the ground. Arm contact to the back of the neck is what I'm seeing. But Laporte did well to halt that attack by Valverde. Early warning, I'd have to say, against the Uruguay player who fouled Pedri. And as it stands in Group H, Spain would top Group H with 5 points. Uruguay's second place. Uruguay's 1 point draw might just be enough to squeak through as runner-up. Now on the ball for Spain is Merino. Merino passes to Rodri, but the ball is given away to Araujo of Uruguay, and now going after the ball is Núñez. Núñez has the ball. Did well to avoid Llorente, but Spain have retaken it through Kubasi. Kubasi towards Yamal. The ball was briefly taken by Uruguay, but Spain managed to hold it back. It's now back with Uruguay and Rodrigo Bentancur. Bentancur passing down the wing to to Varela. Varela to Muslera in goal. Ball not being cleared out towards Rodri. So it's Rodri to Marino. Ball back at the feet of Laporte. Laporte to Kubasi. Kubasi back with Laporte. And now it's Kubasi again. Kubasi towards Rodri. Rodri, quick pass at the wing to Yamal. So it's Lamine Yamal in towards the goal area. Was aiming for Marino, but good defending by Uruguay and in particular Manuel Ugarte. Corner to Spain. We've just gone over 15 minutes. Still 0-0 between Uruguay and Spain. So it's Yamal with the corner. As everyone gets into position. In fact, it was actually Rodri, but Uruguay's goal is kept clear. On the ball briefly for Spain was Cucurella, but retaken by Uruguay. Now it's back with Spain and Kubasi. Kubasi passing to Rodri. Now it's back with Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal to Pedri. Llorente. Kubasi down the wing to Rodri. And it's still 0-0. And it's still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. So the ball being passed back to Pedri. Pedri to Yamal. Yamal inside the penalty area. Now the ball is Oyarzabal, but kept out by Uruguay. Neither side preparing to give an inch. This is very tight and it's very tight and tense at the Estadio Guadalajara at the minute. So now on the ball for Spain is currently Aymeric Laporte. He passes briefly to Kubasi to Pedri. Pedri was almost on the near side. Now towards the centre for Rodri and Kubasi passing up the wing to Yamal. Yamal just on the line, and a foul on that would have been Laporte. And Spain have had 59% possession, Uruguay 35%. So it's still looking very tight. Spain may have had more chances, but Uruguay are just proving to be resilient at the moment. Now on the ball for Spain is Baena. Baena to Pedri. Up the wing to Kubasi. Kubasi trying to go around Valverde. He passes to Yamal, but the ball was just forced over the line by a Uruguay player, so it's a Spain throw-in. The throw-in quickly taken. Pedri towards Oyarzabal, and Oyarzabal has been halted by Oliveira. Good use of the feet by the Uruguay number 16, and Laporte's plays for, and a bit of interesting information which I will be mentioning after this throw-in taken by Cucurella, and the ball has been forced out for Spain. Aymeric Laporte plays for Athletic Bilbao in the Spanish La Liga, and some of our listeners and fans may remember him from the days when he played at Manchester City in the Premier League. So yet another corner for Spain. and it will be Baena that will take the corner. The referee speaking to Augustine Canobio. Baena gets ready to take the corner, which he does, in towards the Spain penalty area, but cut away by Uruguay. And now on the ball back for Spain is Pedri. So Pedri to Kubasi, but intercepted by Uruguay. Now back with Yamal for Spain. Yamal inside the 18-yard box, but defended again by Uruguay. That must have been. I think that was by Caceres, or it might have been Manuel Ugarte. Either way, it's still Uruguay 0, Spain 0. And the ball now being passed towards goal by Baena. And down on the ground is Cucurella. Cucurella does well to get back up on his feet. And so play resumes. It's Spain on the ball with Laporte. Laporte just trying to make his way in. He was over the halfway line anyway. Kubasi to Rodri. Now back with Laporte. Laporte trying to thread his way through. He does, but given away though to Uruguay and Bentancur. Bentancur to Sebastian Caceres. Caceres given away back to Spain, and Laporte to Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal back to Laporte and Pedri. Laporte again. He's over the halfway line. Up through a fraction of the centre circle to Kubasi. Kubasi to Marcos Llorente. Llorente passes back to Kubasi. Kubasi, Laporte. And Laporte passing almost to Oyarzabal. The ball caught by Pedri, but defended by Uruguay and Augustine Canobio. Laporte to Llorente via Kubasi. Now back with Kubasi. Kubasi to Rodri. And a Spain player is down briefly. That was Mikel Merino. Pedri towards Yamal. Llorente. Now it's inside the 18-yard box, but quick to save is Fernando Muslera. And that could have been a nasty shot for Uruguay. And had he not reacted later than he did, Spain could have had the goal. Anyway, we're on to the first hydration break inside the half. We've heard people being very critical about it, but I'd have to say I'm in two minds about this. But coming up on the TCHub tomorrow is Panama against England in Group L at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford at 10 o'clock our time, and in local time, and for local time it will be at 5 o'clock in the evening. But before that, we've got games coming up. We have games coming up a little later on this morning. Egypt against Iran and New Zealand against Belgium in Group G. Belgium close to the bottom in the race for third, but they could yet spring a surprise. And as it stands at the moment, Cape Verde are sixth. in the third place ranking. So we're just having a quick look from a miss earlier on, which was by Marcos Llorente, and the ball almost headed in by Kurbasi. Pedri almost came close too. And as the hydration break goes on, who will be the most refreshed? Some people have complained that the hydration breaks has slowed momentum of certain teams down somewhat, and it's still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. So Cape Verde still have a small chance, not a likely chance, but a chance nonetheless of making it to the round of 32. And as it stands, they will be the only one of the new teams to make it through to the knockout stages. But that, of course, will depend on results happening elsewhere over the next couple of days. So Uruguay about to retake the goal kick, I should say. Back now, but the ball is now back with Spain. It's briefly with Bentancur. Bentancur was aiming for Nunes, but that was quickly snuffed out by Laporte. One thing I did forget to mention is that Ghana will be playing against Croatia at the same time as Panama, England. So a bit disappointed for forgetting that, as Marc Cucurella will take the throw for Spain. And briefly down on the ground was Rodri. Now Uruguay looking for an opening. Can they find a gap? The answer is no. Saved by Simon. Spain are doing all they can to try and keep Uruguay at bay. They will most likely be satisfied with a draw, although a win wouldn't be out of the question, as the ball now is being pressed down towards Alex Baena. Baena saved again by Fernando Muslera. Muslera standing with the ball. Darwin Nunez might have been the one about to challenge the Spain goal a short while ago. Laporte gives the ball away though to Uruguay. It's now with the ball is now with Mateus Oliveira. Bentancur back with Oliveira, and so it's Oliveira for Uruguay. He passes down the wing to Ugarte or Caceres. Caceres. Back to Laporte. Laporte again, or should I say Manuel Ugarte. Ball is now back with Spain, and Cucurella has been fouled yet again, but the referee says play on. Darwin Nunez pressing on towards the goal. Saved again by Simon. Uruguay have only picked up 2 points so far in Group H. A win will ensure they top the group. They have to beat Spain in order to get a better pick for the round of 32. Kubasi to Marino to Llorente down the wing to Pedri. So it's Pedri to Cucurella. Cucurella back with Laporte to Rodri. Now Rodri passing to passing to Unai Simon in goal. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones, as the ball is being passed towards Mikel Oyarzabal. Defended by Uruguay. Now the ball's been given away to Uruguay. After the ball is Nunez, but halted by Laporte. Back pass by Pedri goes awry, and it's a throw-in to Uruguay to be taken by Guillermo Varela. And Varela holds the ball, gets ready to throw. And he throws towards Bentancur. Bentancur to Canobio. Canobio was aiming for Bentancur, but the ball goes over the line, and it will be a throw. And whilst the ball's out of play, please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. It goes a long way to increase the profile of our channel, and also so as to make sure that you don't miss a game. We are trying to grow listeners. We are trying to grow more listeners from across the world. 30 and a half minutes gone. Still Uruguay 0, Spain 0. And as I understand, it's still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. And on the ball now for Spain is Baena towards Merino. Merino gives the ball away though to Bentancur. It's Bentancur for Uruguay. He passes just to Canobio. Canobio brought down by Alex Baena. And the referee coming over to size up the situation. Baena lucky to get away with that. Just smoothing his hair as if nothing had happened. But Canobio very annoyed, and so too is Marcelo Bielsa. Free kick to Uruguay, and to take the free kick will be Juan Sanabria. And in fact it's actually Maxi Araujo. So Araujo to Nunez, but kept out by Spain. Uruguay are now starting to press on towards goal a bit more, but Spain are still keeping them at bay as Oyarzabal is brought down. The referee says play on, and the ball was almost ended up at the feet of Araujo, but Spain have it back. Down the wing from Cucurella to Alex Baena. Baena passes to Rodri. Up the wing by Rodri to Pau Cubarsí. Cubarsí towards Marcos Llorente. Llorente back to Rodri. Rodri passing to Laporte. And so it's Laporte towards Pedri. Pedri to Alex Baena. Almost a chance for Oyarzabal, but he stumbled a bit, and so that was an easy save for Muslera. Simon halts a potential Uruguay attack. It's with Laporte to Rodri inside the centre circle. It's Rodri passing towards Yamal to Merino, and down the wing, and after Yamal down the wing to Laporte. Laporte, Rodri passes to Cubarsí. Cubarsí passing to Yamal. Yamal almost stumbles, but he keeps on going. Yamal trying to press in towards the penalty area, but well held by Uruguay. It's back with Rodri. Rodri towards Cucurella. It's Marc Cucurella down the wing to Alex Baena. Baena, Rodri to Pedri. Pedri still managing to keep hold of the ball. did well to hold off Bentancur. Well, now being passed down to towards Pedri. It's Pedri to Rodri. Now on the ball is Cucurella. Cucurella to Laporte. Laporte to Rodri. Rodri now back with Kurbasi. Kurbasi to Pedri. Now it's with Yamal. Given away though to Uruguay. And now on the ball is Darwin Nunez. Nunez, I thought was going to take the ball on his own, but he has to pass quickly to Sanabria. It's Sanabria. It's Sanabria for Uruguay, and he passes back to Cáceres. Cáceres to Ugarte. And the latest score between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia is still 0-0. As Ugarte plays the ball forward for Uruguay, and it's a forward pass though to Juan Sanabria. Sanabria towards Bentancur, and over the crossbar. That would have been the opening goal for Uruguay. Just a bit too much power. Just a bit too much power in my view. He might have been caught out by Pedri. And yes, I do believe that Pedri got a touch of the ball. The Uruguay fans can't believe it. And now the ball has been retaken by Spain, but it goes over the line again. You'd have thought that Spain would be at least 1-0 up by now, but no. Uruguay, to their credit, are still managing to hold them firm. And so now on the ball is Varela, and everyone, and bit of news to bring to you, which I'll be mentioning in the next lull in play, as it's Mateus Oliveira for Uruguay, but given away to Spain, and Llorente, as down on the ground has gone Maxi Araujo. I think that was he wasn't in touch with the ball, just a push at the back of the head, and just got a quick message from my producer Ras that everyone at the commentary hub wishes Saudi Arabia defender Hassan Al-Tambati a speedy recovery after he leaves the pitch with a leg injury against Cape Verde. So, and that is not what people want to hear. Ismail Kone was forced off in the Canada match against Qatar with a broken leg, and we wish them both the best. Back to the here and now. It's Uruguay on the ball, and the ball's been forced out by Spain and Pedri, and it'll be a throw in to Uruguay. Throw in taken by Varela. Varela to Oliveira. It's now back with Spain and Kurbasi. Kurbasi, Llorente passing back towards Pedri. 6.5 minutes until half time. And the ball now being passed around to Oyarzabal. So it's Oyarzabal for Spain. Fouled, but play still goes on, and the ball is at the feet of Unai Simon. And Oyarzabal is down on the ground, clutching the back of his leg, possibly a hamstring knot. We'll take another look. Just a side-on collision with Manuel Ugarte, and that looks painful for the man already on a yellow card and at risk of suspension. And the Spain captain trying to get his views across to the referee, and Oyarzábal still down on the ground. He's being helped up by the referee and his teammate Llorente, but he's still feeling his leg. The Spain supporters will understandably be concerned, and so too will the rest of the team. This was the earlier attempt on goal by Uruguay, and Bentancur should have been a bit closer to the D in my view. And that is the closest Uruguay have come to scoring. And so with 5 minutes to go, it's still Uruguay 0, Spain 0. As Oyarzábal is Oyarzábal is momentarily off the pitch, having a quick word with Luis de la Fuente, who retreats back to his technical area, having a further discussion with the fourth official as Unai Simon clears the ball out of the goal towards Lamine Yamal. Briefly held by Uruguay, but now back with Spain. It's Pedri. Pedri a little way outside the centre circle. He passes to Mikel Merino. Merino, Lamine Yamal. Now back with Pedri. Pedri still managing to keep hold of the ball. He has to pass to someone quickly. He passes to Yamal. Yamal tries to go around Sanabria, but he's down, and so too is Mikel Merino. Spain trying to carry on regardless, and that was all. And Spain and the one to open Spain's account is the number 15, Alex Baena. Alex Baena of Atletico Madrid. That's his third international goal. The man formerly of Villarreal excels in half spaces, and he's a constant threat to regular assists. That was fantastic. I thought it wouldn't go in. Lamine Yamal almost set up the delivery, but it was Llorente who crossed down to Alex Baena. Muslera did get a touch to it, but it wasn't enough, and Spain lead Uruguay by a goal to nil. If Uruguay lose this game, their qualification for the round of 32 may well be in doubt. And the disappointment on the faces of the Uruguay supporters clear to see, and Mikel Oyarzábal celebrates from the touchline. And this will mean a lot to the European champions and to Luis de la Fuente. He knows how to lead a side from up front, but a stretcher has been placed onto the pitch, and it's for a Uruguay player to be taken off, and this was for an instance I did not see. It's either Ugarte or Bentancur, and Pedri got caught up between Bentancur and Ugarte, and the Uruguay player has been taken off. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Any injury or such like that, or maybe he's just passed out. I don't know. I can't tell at this moment in time. But what I can say is that the recovery has been dealt with very swiftly and efficiently. He has his hands on his face, and it is Bentancur. He is going to be substituted, and it is Ugarte. He is going to be substituted by the number 7 Nicolas de la Cruz, who plays for Flamengo in Brazil. So the ball not being forced over the line, and we now have some 10 seconds of normal time left. Baena scored in the 42nd minute, and because of what's been going on, what with the injury and such like, we now have 8 minutes of added on time. Just saw the fourth official raise the board. The ball now being passed to Muslera in goal. It's Rodri to Kubasi. Kubasi to Llorente, and the way things are, Spain will go through, and Uruguay's position, it will be in doubt, and it will be Cape Verde who will join Spain in the second round if things stay as they are. Mikel Oyarzabal back on the pitch. That's good to see. And now after the ball is Matias Oliveira. So it's Oliveira passing to Bentancur. Bentancur to Cáceres. Cáceres back to Bentancur. Bentancur. Now on the ball is De La Cruz, but retaken by Spain. On the ball now for Spain is Pedri. Pedri has been pushed down. There's been a lot of thousand men being pushed down to the ground, and so we're now we're almost about a minute. We're about almost 2 minutes in to the first period of stoppage time, and it's still Uruguay 0, Spain 1. Llorente passing to Pedri to Kubasi, I should say. It's Oyarzabal. We're giving away to Uruguay. On the ball now for Uruguay is Varela. Varela to Sanabria, but retaken by Llorente for Spain. It's Llorente. Given away though to Uruguay, and that will be a throw-in to Spain. Llorente to take the throw. He throws to Rodri. And in terms of the third place rankings, in terms of the current top 8, Uruguay are not on there, so they will be eliminated if things stay as they are. So now on the ball is Rodri, Laporte passing back to Unai Simon. It's back with Laporte to Rodri, back with Laporte. Rodri again. And now the ball has been passed forward to Mikel Merino. Merino to Alex Baena. Baena to Oyarzabal. But Oyarzabal clatters into Oliveira. It looked nasty. For a moment it looked nasty, but Oliveira was back up on his feet, and it's still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. But as I said just now, Cape Verde will take the runners-up position in Group H, as things stand. Muslera sends the ball out of goal for Uruguay. Now after the ball was Rodri, but the Uruguay player has been fouled. That was Nicolas de la Cruz. And the Spain supporters, a mix of joy and anxiety, I would say. De la Cruz brought down, but so too was Pedri. And Pedri's had more fouls than anyone in the Spain lineup throughout this game so far. Free kick given to Spain. Ball now being passed by Laporte to Kubasi. Now back with Laporte. Kubasi at the wing to Marcos Llorente. And it's Llorente on the ball. He passes back to Kubasi. And now about to take the throw is the Uruguay is Juan Sanabria to take the throw for Uruguay. But there's been a bit of time. But there's been time wasting, and the referee wasn't too happy. So the throw has to be taken again, and down on the ground has gone Maxi Araujo. 5 minutes in to first period of stoppage time. It's still Uruguay 0, Spain 1. And just a push in the back by Mikel Merino. Free kick given though to Uruguay, and to take the free kick is Araujo, but no chance of Uruguay equalising thanks to a Spain defence, and a very good one at that too. Varela to take the throw for Uruguay. He passing to Bentancur, but Bentancur brought down by Pedri. The referee isn't interested. He's saying play on. It's Rodri to Cucurella. Now back with Rodri. Rodri passing to Unai Simon. Simon clears the ball out of goal towards Pedri, but given away though to Uruguay. And Oliveira to Bentancur. And now on the ball is Nunes, but saved by Unai Simon. And it's just gone half time between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, 0-0. And Nunes, would he have been offside? That was very close. But still a good save by Unai Simon nonetheless. Now on the Spain back in charge. It's Aymeric Laporte. Laporte on the ball. We've now got some 15 seconds of stoppage time left. Oyarzabal to Laporte. Now back with Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal going for a long ranger, but that's a good fair distance off. And the referee blows for half time, and quite an entertaining first half, I would say, bordering on tense. Uruguay held Spain off for much of the first half, but Spain were able to break down their defence after just over 40 minutes. Half time at the Estadio Guadalajara, Uruguay 0, Spain 1. Before we go, I'm just going to have a quick look at what happened to Manuel Ugarte as to why he was stretched off. According to one source, he says he appears to have taken a heavy step and buckled his knee, which resulted in a non-contact injury, which he would need to be stretchered off for. These things can happen. So half time, but according to Russ, he says he collided with one of his teammates, which may have caused a knee injury. It was accidental, and that's why he was taken off. So we at the commentary hub wish Ugarte all the best as he recovers. Half time at the Estadio Guadalajara. Uruguay 0, Spain 1. We'll be right back for the. We'll be back for the second half. We'll be right back for the second half when it is almost time. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of Uruguay against Spain at the Estadio Akron in Mexico. And this is the top two in Group H, although Spain are likely to qualify as group winners with Cape Verde in second place. But before we go on to anything a bit further, just got time to mention upcoming fixtures, starting with our game tomorrow, Panama against England at the MetLife Stadium on tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the UK time and 5 o'clock local time. It is coming up to 10 past 2 in the UK. It's coming up to 10 past 2 in the morning in the UK, and this is coming up, and over there it is approaching 10 past 7 in the evening. So other fixtures coming up between this game and the current game, between this game and Panama England in Group G. 2 games at 4 o'clock in the morning a bit later on. Egypt taking on Iran, and New Zealand against Belgium. Belgium in the third place. Belgium in the contention for third place. Belgium in contention for the third place. They could top the third place ranking if they get a win. If they get a win, and other results fall their way, and coming up around the same time as Panama against England is the other Group L match between Croatia and Ghana. And the players now getting ready to restart the match. And a substitute. And a substitute for Uruguay, Muslera coming off. And he will be Muslera coming off. And the 40-year-old is replaced by the number 1, Sergio Roche. And it will be Uruguay to kick off proceedings as we count down to the start of the second half, and away we go then for the second half between Uruguay and Spain. And straight away it's Uruguay in possession. Remember, this time Uruguay are playing right to left, Spain left to right. And on the ball briefly was Agustin Canobio, and it's Canobio passing to Roja. Canobio passing to Roque. And the ball now being crossed forward to Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez inside the goal area. Quick dink on the foot by Laporte to keep the ball away. But down the ground has gone Agustin Canobio, and the referee's got a yellow card out of his pocket. Who is he going to give it to? It might be Alex Baena. We'll just have another look at it. And yes, I can see why. A grab on the arm, and the referee has cautioned Alex Baena. So the first yellow card of the game, and indeed his first yellow card in the World Cup, as Uruguay get ready to take the free kick. And so to take the free kick will be either De La Cruz or Araujo. And Araujo to take the free kick into the goal area, but kept out by Spain. Really good use of sealing their defensive third. And for Uruguay, they've got to react quickly. Otherwise, they will have to climb a mountain in order to get back in touch with Spain. It's Mateus Oliveira to Oliveira to Bentancur. Another ball being crossed down to Roja, but challenge, whatever challenge Uruguay throw, Simon is always there. Laporte inside the centre circle, up the wing to Cucurella. Cucurella recently signed for Real Madrid on a 41.5 million transfer from Chelsea. So it's so now the ball currently is Kubasi, Llorente. Back to Kubasi. Kubasi passing back to Simon. Simon now on the ball. Simon now on the ball is was Llorente, and the second half between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia is likely already underway. Llorente to Rodri to Kubasi crossing the ball forward to Lamine Yamal, but saved by Sergio Roche. Saved by Sergio Roquette. And it will be Roquette to take the goal kick. He passes swiftly to Oliveira, and just got the confirmation that Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, they are underway. They've played 1 minute more than this match. So that is good to know. Ball now being played forward by Spain, or backed by Spain, so I should say, to keep their defence well check. It's Lamine Yamal caught at the end by Araujo. Now the ball being passed at the wing to Cucurella. Now it's with Baena on the far side. Baena trying to press into Spain's attacking third, but well held by Bentancur of Uruguay. The ball now being passed at the wing to Varela. Now on the ball this time is Nunez. Nunez for Uruguay has to do a back pass to Varela. It's back with Oliveira. Cut out by Spain. Good defending by Marcos Llorente. And now on the ball is Lamine Yamal. He's over the halfway line. Holds off his attacker, but not for long. It's Bentancur to take the ball for Uruguay. And now the ball is being passed around very quickly. It's Valverde to Araujo. Back with Bentancur. And Valverde to Juan Sanabria. Sanabria back with Valverde to Araujo. Nicolas de la Cruz. But it's too wide. Just not enough attacking firepower for Uruguay to close Spain down. 51 minutes have been played. It's still Uruguay 0, Spain 1. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the Commentary Hub channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss a game. Every single subscription helps as we continue to grow the channel. Goal kick quickly taken by Spain. And now on the ball is Rodri to Marino. Almost passed forward, but it's back with Marino, Llorente passing to Lamine Yamal. The ball is still with Spain. Up the wing to Cucurella. Cucurella on the ball. He passes to Alex Baena. Baena passing back down towards Rodri. Rodri passes the ball over the line, and down on the ground is Pedri. He's been roughed up one too many times, I feel. Should be substituted. And the man to bring him down was Agustin Canobio. Canobio forcing him down, and Pedri understandably aggrieved. Canobio lucky to get away with that. Should have been given a yellow card in my view. Unai Simon with the ball. Unai Simon with the ball for Spain. He passes out of the goal to Pau Kubasi. Kubasi towards Marcos Llorente. Llorente, Kubasi. Back towards Simon. Simon towards Mikel Merino. Merino to Unai Simon, and Simon now crossing down the wing. That's a forward cross, I should say, to Oyarzabal. Lamal back with now it's with Llorente, although Lamine Yamal has been fouled by Juan Sanabria, and Sanabria has been shown a yellow card, and that looked very rough. So both teams have a yellow card apiece for one player, and that looked very painful. Caught Lamine Yamal on the knee, and this could be risky, and this could mean bad news for Spain as they progress forward throughout the tournament. Lamal, that is a very bad knee injury by the looks of it, and just having another look at the goal by Baena. Absolutely fantastic, and just caught out Fernando Muslera. And for Uruguay, they really do need to regain momentum. Still 0-0 as things stand between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. We will let you know of any goals if and when they come in. So Llorente to Simon. Simon throws the ball out to Mikel Merino, but retaken by Bentancur. Bentancur for Uruguay. Passes to Valverde. Valverde towards Nunez. A Uruguay player is down. The referee calls a halt to proceedings, and the foul may well have been committed by Pau Kubasi. So the referee has a look, and that was Nicolas de la Cruz getting into an altercation with Rodri, and the player to foul and also got caught out was Pau Kubasi. Free kick Uruguay, but it doesn't come off, and Spain still lead Uruguay by 1-0. Remember, as the way things stand right now, Uruguay will be eliminated, as off the pitch comes Federico Valverde, and taking his place will be number 21, Federico Viñas of Real Oviedo. So he makes his way onto the subs bench. Very disappointing game from him by his standards. And it's Bentancur for Uruguay, although players had to be stopped for some reason which I didn't get. Free kick to Spain free kick to Spain. The ball now being crossed towards Merino, but picked up by Bentancur. Now the ball's been given to Kubasi to Simon. Simon crossing the ball forward to Baena, but held by Uruguay. Given away back to Spain and Baena. Baena to Pedri. Now back with Baena. Pedri again. The ball now being played down in towards the 18-yard box. It was headed for Oyarzabal, but defended by Uruguay. And Spain will have been awarded a corner, and down on the ground is Baena. Alex Baena down on the ground, so there will be a second booking for Uruguay. And I couldn't see, I couldn't see who the player was that fouled him, and whoever it was just nowhere on the ball, was just nowhere near the ball. Shouldn't have done that. And it's Guillermo Varela who has been noted by the referee. So Varela with the yellow card, and it'll be a Spain corner. Lamine Yamal to take once more. The ball goes into the 18-yard box, headed by Rodri, and it ends up at the feet of Kubasi towards Unai Simon. Given away to Uruguay and Araujo, but retaken by Spain. On the ball this time is Cucurella. Baena to Araujo. Llorente, although down on the ground, has gone Mikel Merino. And the referee says, stop play. Free kick to Spain, he says. And that was a step on the foot, I should add, by Rodrigo Bentancur. Spain will make their first 2 substitutions. Off the pitch comes Pedri, and he will be replaced, I should say, by Fabian Ruiz of PSG, and Merino comes off, and his place is being taken by Barcelona's Dani Olmo. So play resumes. It's Rodri, but the ball has been given back to Europe. But the ball has been given back to Uruguay, and saved once more by Unai Simon. Coming up to the hour mark. It's still Uruguay 0, Spain 1. And the ball now being passed around for Spain. It's Pau Kubasi to Oyarzabal. The ball now being crossed up the wing towards Dani Olmo, but well held, but held by Uruguay. The ball now being crossed back to Laporte, but Uruguay retake, and on the ball is Oliveira to Rodrigo Bentancur. Passing back to Oliveira to Nicolas de la Cruz. Now the ball has been given back to Spain. Olmo almost has it, but it's over the line and too close. Oyarzabal not close enough to it. 62 minutes have apparently gone, still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde will, remember, as things stand, Cape Verde will do enough to make it to the round of 32 as Group H runners-up. Down on the ground goes Araujo. But play still goes on. It's Fabian Ruiz to Cucurella. It's Cucurella for Spain. Back to Fabian Ruiz. Now the ball's being crossed down to Dani Olmo. It's Olmo to Oyarzabal, back towards Olmo. Olmo trying to find a space. He's down in the 18-yard box. No penalty, says the referee. And Simon does well to receive the ball from a defending Aymeric Laporte. Was it penalty worthy? I'm not too sure. In two minds about this one. I wouldn't be surprised if VAR had a momentary look at this, but the decision goes against Spain. And on the ground, fouled is Cucurella. On the ball is Fabian Ruiz. He passes down wing to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal towards Olmo. Olmo almost makes it 2. And very close it was 2. As things stand, Cape Verde will face Argentina in Miami in the round of 32. Spain on the other hand will face Austria. That's the ball. That was a very close attempt at goal. But it was a very close attempt at goal by Olmo. Rodri to Llorente. Spain have had 5 attempts at goal. Uruguay 3, 1 on target for Spain. On the ball is Darwin Núñez. Núñez to Maxi Araujo. But defended by Aymeric Laporte. Although Federico Viñas almost equalised for Uruguay. Federico Viñas. He's 28 years old. He's still going to prove that he is still a vital cog in the system for Uruguay. The ball now being passed down the wing to Maxi Araujo. Araujo to Oliveira, saved again by Unai Simon. He's really earned his money throughout this game so far. And the ball being placed on the ground. About to be kicked out of goal by Laporte. He passes to Rodri. Rodri to Fabian Ruiz. And it's back with Ruiz. Rodri. And after 65 minutes, it's still Uruguay 0, Spain 1. And play has been momentarily stopped. It's a bit of an argument about to break out, but the referee calmly and sensibly managing to stop the arguments. Free kick to Spain. Remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It really helps. As Spain get ready for another substitute, as the goal scorer Baena makes way for Crystal Palace's Yeremy Pino, and Baena's goal will not be forgotten by the Spain followers. So Pino makes his way on. It's an attack and Spain looking to attack through Oyarzabal. Although Oyarzabal fouled from behind by Oliveira, and it will be to take the goal kick is Sergio Roquette. Uruguay back in possession. The ball being crossed down to Maxi Araujo. It's Araujo on the ball. He tries to go around Llorente, but he's having none of it. And Olmo brought down by Bentancur. Play still goes on. It's Darwin Núñez. Núñez to Juan Sanabria, but it goes over the line. But it goes over the line on the far side, and the score still remains. Olmo and we now go into the second hydration break. Spain have been able to hold out against Uruguay so very well indeed. And I'm now going, and in that lull of play, I'm now going to take a look at the Group H table. Spain top the group with 7 points. Cape Verde in second place on 3. Uruguay may be in contention for the third place teams, but as it stands, they will be eliminated. And don't forget, coming up tomorrow is our featured game, Panama against England at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. If you are an England fan, you'd be crazy not to miss it. So join Alex Peters and Mike Hartman for this one. Or is it Paul James? I cannot fully remember now. So everyone taking advantage to have a drink and listen to the tactical talks from the manager. It's a nice summer evening in Guadalajara yes, I have been corrected. It's Paul James and Mike Hardiman to cover the Panama and England match. As a couple of the Uruguay players on the bench look on, and one of them is about to come on, and on my monitor I can see a lovely shot of the moon, and the stadium, a rather magnificent piece of engineering, set and it looks like it's been set on top of a hill, and the player that looked like he was going to get ready to come on was Brian Rodriguez. Haven't seen him come on yet. In fact, he is coming on now, and he will take the place of Juan Sanabria. So Brian Rodriguez of Club America in Mexico, and Uruguay have used up all their substitutes. Throw-in to be taken by Spain with 20 minutes to go. And the hydration break is over. I should have said that about a couple of minutes ago. So we're back underway. It's Olmo crossing down towards Laporte. And now on the ball is Yamal. Yamal towards Llorente. Llorente can't keep the ball in. And to take the throw is Rodriguez. Rodriguez passing to Oliveira, and still the Group H table remains the same. It's Nicolas de la Cruz crossing down wing to Rodriguez. It's Rodriguez. He was caught out by Marcos Llorente. Another ball is being thrown to Maxi Araujo. To Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez gives the ball. Rodriguez almost giving it away to Yamal. Rodriguez back towards Yamal. 72 minutes gone. It's still Cape Verde 0, Saudi Arabia 0. As Fabian Ruiz is making his way up. He's making his way up the pitch. He passes to Lamine Yamal. Could Spain make it 2 from here? And good block by Uruguay. But Dani Olmo wants to try again for Spain. He passes to Yeremy Pino. Yeremy Pino passing to Rodri. And Rodri, further back it goes to Pau Kubasi. To Rodri. Now it's with Cucurella. Cucurella to Laporte. Back with Rodri. Rodri to Llorente. Llorente, Kubasi, Rodri. And now the ball goes. Right at the wing to. So I couldn't see who. Back now with Rodri. And in the third place rankings, as things stand, Uruguay will be eliminated. They have to react. They have to get their act together if they are to make it through to the round of 32. As things stand right now, they are fighting a losing battle. And the referee says advantage Spain. It's Dani Olmo, but the ball is caught by Sergio Roquet. So Roquet passes the ball out, and down the wing it goes to Maxi Rojo. Rojo to Oliveira. Oliveira towards De La Cruz. He passes back to Roquet. And so Roquet clearing the ball out of goal, given away though to Spain. It ends up with Rodri. Rodri just makes it outside the centre circle. Spain now pressing on towards their attacking third. Fabian Ruiz back towards Marcos Llorente. Llorente down the wing to Lamine Yamal. It's Yamal on the ball for Spain. Tries to get around Araujo. He passes to Fabian Ruiz. The ball's given back to Uruguay. Spain tries to retake but can't. And it was Federico Viñas that went down. And it still remains Spain, and it still remains Uruguay 0, Spain 1. So play has been restarted. On the ball now for Uruguay was Bentancur, but down on the ground went De La Cruz. Ball now being passed to Rodriguez on the near side. De La Cruz down. The referee says play on. It's Llorente for Spain. Almost clipped by a Uruguay player, but Spain still keep hold of the ball. It's Pau Kubasi to Kubasi. Rodri. Another ball still being passed around. Rodri to Kubasi. Kubasi has played really well for Spain in this game. Now the ball being passed up to Aymeric Laporte, and Laporte towards Olmo. Olmo fouled right on the halfway line. That was by Matthias Oliveira. And a couple of substitutes being made as Nico Williams takes the place of Lamine Yamal. And replacing Mikel Oyarzabal is Ferran Torres. Actually, Ferran Torres will take the place of Yamal, and Oyarzabal will be replaced. And Oyarzabal is replaced by Williams. So now on the ball is Kubasi. And an incident has happened, which I didn't quite see, and that's involved Federico Viñas, and that was on Aymeric Laporte. Laporte might just have caught him on the leg, but it was Laporte who came off worse. Viñas claiming he got him on the side of his chest. But play still goes on in any case. Less than 15 minutes to go. It's still Uruguay 0, Spain 1. The ball now is Federico Viñas. Given back to Dani Olmo. Up on the ball, and the referee about to restart the game. Ball is now being passed to Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez passes. Gives the ball away to Fabian Ruiz. Ball now being passed to. Unai Simon. And as I'm sure Ross will tell me very soon, I've got to think about my player of the match. I already have one clear candidate as Nico Williams tries to go for the ball, but he's fouled. And now on the ball is Nicolas de la Cruz. He's passing the ball around to Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez, play is stopped. Play is held up momentarily. Offside Uruguay. As the man in the offside position was Darwin Nunez. And I've been told to be sent my player of the match in 3 minutes. So I've already written it down. As now on the ball is Cucurella. Cucurella for Spain. He passes to Nico Williams. Nico Williams loses the ball to Uruguay, and a shake of the head from Rodri. As play has momentarily been brought to a sudden halt. The game resumes with the goal kick from Roquette, and the ball has been passed back. The ball's been passed back to Roquette. Roquette takes the ball forward from the goal towards Federico Viñas. The ball has now been given to Maxi Araujo. Araujo to Darwin Nunez. Now the ball's been passed to Agustin Canobio. Canobio to De La Cruz. And the ball, and now on the ball is Matthias Oliveira. With the ball going over the line, and I've just let my producer Russ know who my player of the match is, and the Spanish supporters waving to the cameras, and standing on the ball is Unai Simon. Simon passing to Laporte to Marc Cucurella. But he was fouled. And we can anyway. So we're back underway. It's Laporte to Marc Cucurella. Cucurella passing to Maxi Araujo. Araujo to Oliveira. Oliveira crossing down the wing to Brian Rodriguez, close enough to the near side, and he's almost tackled by Jeremy Pino. But trying to close him down is Llorente, but he can't. And now on the ball is Oliveira, but it bounces off the post, and Spain once again catch a lucky break. Or Unai Simoni actually got his gloves to it. Corner to Uruguay, but nothing doing, and Spain were able to defend that one. Bentancur with the cross, and almost headed by Matthias by Mateus Oliveira. In about 6 minutes' time, I shall reveal who my player of the match will be. Is. As Oliveira with the strike, but palmed away by Simon. After the ball this time is Sebastian Cáceres to Rodrigo. Now on the ball is Olmo to Llorente. As down on the ground has gone Oliveira. As down on the ground has gone Oliveira. That might have been a tackle. That might have been a foul by Ferran Torres. Olmo to Pino. That's with Llorente up the wing towards Rodri. Now back with Pau Kubasi. Kubasi passes to Unai Simon. Just had news come through. 84 minutes gone. Still 0-0 between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, but that won't matter to Cape Verde at the moment. They just need a point to qualify for the round. They just need a point to qualify for the round of 32 as runner-up. So unless other results go against them, they have done enough to make the second round. Ball now cleared out of the goal again by Unai Simon. As that was an attack by Darwin. Darwin Nunez. Nunez was a bit too far from the ball, but he just about missed. It's Ferran Torres. Brought down by two players, one of which was Rodriguez. Play still goes on. It's now with Darwin Nunez. Nicolas de la Cruz, and saved again by Simon. Unai Simon has been the standout player for Spain, in my view, and although other players have contributed as well, for me it's still got to be Unai Simon. Dani Olmo passing to Fabian Ruiz. On the ground though is Jeremy Pino. Momentarily winded. He's back up on his feet. He does look hurt. Will he have to be taken? He won't have to be taken off. And it's Kubasi to Torres. Ferran Torres goes for an opening, but it just clips the top crossbar. And that should have definitely been the second goal for Spain. Should have aimed a bit lower, and that could have almost certainly sealed Spain's top position in Group H. And on the ball this time, and back on the ball for Uruguay is Oliveira. It's Oliveira to Cáceres. And 87 minutes have now elapsed between Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. It remains goalless, and this still does nothing to change the results, as a Spain player is down, and it is Jeremy Pino. Jeremy Pino is down, clutching his shoulder, and that looks very nasty. And Ferran Torres almost doubling Spain's lead. And the Spain fans get ready to celebrate, but it just wasn't to be. And whilst we have this small lull in play, I can award my player of the match, as sponsored by Football Live, to the Spain goalkeeper Unai Simon. And for Unai Simon, he has made 1 save, passing accuracy, and total passes 33. What an incredible match he has had so far. If it hadn't been for him, Uruguay would have had at least 1 or 2 goals. So Yeremy Pino, being led aside and is off the pitch, speaking to Luis de la Fuente as play resumes. And now on the pitch, now on the ball, I should say, for Uruguay is Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez to Sebastian Cáceres. Cáceres to Oliveira. And Oliveira passing to Araujo. Araujo, De La Cruz. Back towards Oliveira. And De La Cruz crossing this time up towards, I couldn't see who, but now the ball being crossed down towards Darwin Núñez, kept out by Spain. It's Rodrigo Bentancur. Bentancur passing to Cáceres. Cáceres passing to Guillermo Varela. Varela to Oliveira. We're now into the penultimate minutes. Of normal time. Just remains to be seen how many minutes will be added on, as the ball is still with Uruguay. Still in possession is Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez crossing up the wing, almost taken off by Cucurella. Uruguay still looking for the equaliser, but the foul inside the penalty area. The referee's saying, the referee's trying to play on, and down on the ground is Federico Viñas. And as far as I'm aware, there are no penalties in this. And I've just seen the fourth official raise his board. Couldn't see the number of minutes. We'll let you know in a moment or two. 5 minutes have been added on, and this was taking a look at it again with Viñas. That was Olmo. That was Olmo. He fouled, and there is still no further decision being made as to what will happen next. No penalty taken, so it will be just a goal kick to be taken by Unai Simon. Spain breathe a sigh of relief, and 5 minutes have been added in the game between Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. The ball now picked up by Sergio Roquette. Roquette sends the ball forwards, but saved by his opposite number, Simon. And down on the ground on the verge of the 18-yard boxes was Kurbasi. Kurbasi clutching his shoulder as Uruguay are sensing that time is starting to run out for them. Offside ruled against Spain, and the ball is back. In possession for Uruguay. It's Maxi Araujo passing to Roquette. Passing to Roquette. We now have some 3 minutes to go until full time. It's Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez gives the ball away to Oliveira, or Varela, I should say. Varela gives the ball away to Nico Williams, and Williams has brought down a fight is about to break out, and a couple of Uruguay players kicking off. One of them was Agustin Canobio, and Dani Olmo tries to get his opinion in, and Fabian Ruiz. We'll just have to see what happened. I'd have to say I thought it was Williams, but it was actually De La Cruz who was the instigator in that one, and so Nicolas De La Cruz booked for Uruguay, and so we now have less than 2 minutes. Just to finally clarify, De La Cruz has a yellow card. So free kick taken by Spain. One being crossed forward to Nico Williams, briefly retaken by Rodrigo Bentancur. So with Marcelo Bielsa, he will leave the ground feeling very annoyed. I am sure of it. As Spain trying to retake the ball again through Fabian Ruiz, and down on the ground again has gone. Kubasi, a red card has been given, and it is against Canobio. We'll have to wait. We'll have to fully clarify who it is, and this is, and we are going to go slightly over time. Poku Barsi is okay. He's just sitting up, and it was just a touch of feet there, and he sandwiched, and his foot sandwiched both Kubasi's legs, and that looked very painful too. The Spain substitutes and Luis de la Fuente in uproar over this, and understandably so. Agustin Canobio sent off, and he deserved that yellow card. He's still trying to get his points across, but the substitute sensibly leading him away, and we are now into the 95th minute. Full time in the other game. Cape Verde 0, Saudi Arabia 0. Cape Verde have done enough to qualify, and still shooting his mouth off is Canobio. But meantime play still goes on. Cape Verde feel sure they've qualified, and a foul on Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres brought down. The ball now being headed clear. It's back with Uruguay and Bentancur. Bentancur sends the ball away. It was almost caught by Mark Cucurella. Indeed we are going to go slightly over time, but for me the final result is a formality. As the ball goes over the line again, and the referee's seen enough. It's full time. Spain win Group H and are through to the round of 32, and Cape Verde will qualify as runners-up. They have done it. The small African country, the small African island, out to sea west of Senegal. They have they have succeeded. They have succeeded against the odds. So credit to them. And as it stands, they will play. As it stands, they will play Argentina in Miami. Spain are likely to face Austria. Uruguay are eliminated for the second consecutive World Cup. Eliminated at the group stage in 2022. And this is a far cry from when they reached the quarterfinals in 2018 and made the semi-finals in 2010. But regardless of what happened, and it's three draws, by the way, for Cape Verde, but that matters little to them as they make the round of 32. Congratulations to both Spain and Cape Verde for making it through Group H and qualifying for the round of 32. That wraps it up. That wraps it up on this part, but we've just got time to mention upcoming games. And our feature game tomorrow night, remember, is Panama against England at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock local time, and the games to come before that. A couple of games in Group G: Egypt against Iran and New Zealand against Belgium, both of which will start in just under an hour's time. And the other game in Group L, which will play during the same time as England, as Panama against England, is Croatia. Will be Croatia against Ghana. I've been Nicholas Jones. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed. And I hope you've enjoyed another of our alternative commentaries. If you haven't, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel as we aim to grow more members. That's all for now. For those listeners that are tired, you can go back to bed as we prepare for England, as we prepare for Panama against England. So if more of us here at the studio, good night and goodbye for now.